Hello, I'm Rebecca Peltz, and I've used Google Gemini to create this application that I'm calling Eleanor. And Eleanor is a digital Rogerian therapist. Here's a picture of her and a little blurb here to make you understand where does Eleanor come from in this whole idea of a Rogerian digital therapist. Well, she succeeds Eliza, who was a program created in the 60s, and it was used to investigate communication between humans and machines. And now we have AI, not necessarily with the same purpose of investigating communication, although certainly that's there. But more importantly, we have this new technology, AI, and I wanted to rewrite or write a new version of Eliza, who was a Rogerian digital therapist. I have a section here. So here in this first page on the homepage, you're just going to get to know a little about Eleanor, a little about what Rogerian therapy is, focuses on self-reflection, problem solving. And then to let you know, I'm not saving any information here. So everything pretty much will go away. There's a transcript created that you can save yourself, but no information shared. I'm dealing with my own banned words. I know that Gemini has some features that can help keep the atmosphere in a nice way, preventing different kinds of language exchange that wouldn't be so great. But I just basically created some banned words. And if I see those in my prompts from the user, I have an admin function that will announce that, we're not going to, uh, we're not going to post that to the therapist. And I also point out that this is not a mental health problem solving application, but I have some links for people that really are suffering from mental health conditions and want to talk to somebody. So I also have this about page. And the about page talks a little about my experience with Eliza, because I actually played with it when I was 11. And Eliza came under the name of Dr. Automatic. Here's a little picture from the transcript I created back then. And I was just a kid, so I really didn't even know quite what a psychiatrist did, but I knew they somehow fixed you. And Eliza was the program. Um, but so here's Eliza demo starting. When you started the conversation, it was Dr. Automatic who you were talking to. I probably would have liked to have talked directly to Eliza, but anyway, so I have some explanation there, and I have some notes on digital conversation in general, like how this works. So I point out when you're in the homepage, you're in the waiting room to see Eleanor, and that's because I want you to kind of understand the context of this application. But when you're ready, you go into the session. And here in the session, we are actually going to start by having the admin welcome us. So I've created this admin kind of persona just for the purpose of dealing with banned words and welcoming. And then Eleanor introduces herself. I have given her a prompt to help her to make this introduction. And at that point, you can start asking questions. And so, like, for example, I know a big problem right now is people getting laid off in tech. So if I was to say, I just got laid off, I was a software engineer. Do you have any ideas of what I should do next? Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then this little area, it actually expands, so I could actually write quite a bit if I wanted to. And then I have a transcript area. So if I share this now, it's going to take my prompt, and if it doesn't have any words that are forbidden, it will send it off to the therapist, and then she will respond. It takes a little while to get the response, and I've worked with the Google Gemini config to try to limit the amount returned, thinking that might, speed it up. But you can see Eleanor has given quite a nice response. Laid off is tough, but it's also an opportunity because she knows she's a therapist. So she's not just like spouting out, facts. So it's not a reflection on your worth or abilities. It's a common occurrence in the tech industry. Stay positive. So, and then, like I said, I'm not saving any of this, but you can click on download and it's going to create a file and I can open it with the text editor and I can actually review or share my conversation through that editor. And then yeah, there's again, you go to about, you can read about this, my experience with Eliza, and then why I think it's worth creating Eleanor. And and then yes, there is code available. I'm using Netlify to build my code. And so I just created this is a free account and just hooked it up with my GitHub project here. This is all open. Use React and Vite to do the front end. And then I use Netlify, allows you to create server functions. So I just created a couple of server functions to deal with getting my initial prompt in. And then once that prompt was in, dealing with ongoing questions, and then a little bit of HTML to text in order to create the download text. So it's everything I've used has been free. I appreciate Google offering up free access to the API. And that's about what I'm doing with uh, Eleanor. Um, so it was a lot of fun. I have a write-up on things explaining what I did more in more detail and also what I would do in the future with this application. Well, that's it.